Hey YouTube. So clearly Final Fantasy I was a success and the team decided to work on a sequel. And we're going to start our playthrough today of said sequel. With Final Fantasy II, a few important standards were set. So the first one is that sequels don't equal continuations of the story. The next is that they wanted to focus on a stronger narrative. And the next goal was to have more freedom to build characters instead of rigid job restrictions like the first game. All of the staff from Final Fantasy I returned to their roles except for Akitoshi Kawazu, aka the father of Saga. He kept his role as a battle planner from the first game, but he also joined in on the writing process. The original concepts of the story were much closer to something that ended up being used in the Romancing Saga games, and that focused on a battle of succession in the Kingdom of Altair. Mid-development, programmer Nasir Gabelli, his work visa expired and he had to return to work in Sacramento, California. Instead of renewing it, he actually had the rest of the team move with him to finish the game. I was reading today that apparently they finished the game in a motel room. And it's wild that it was actually made here in the States because we technically did not get Final Fantasy II here until Final Fantasy Origins, released on the PlayStation in 2003. A lot of this is speculation, right? These are the things that I have found as for why we didn't get Final Fantasy II. And I was able to narrow it down to two specific reasons. The first one feels pretty accurate. It was the timing of the release. So Final Fantasy II came out in December in 1988, but Final Fantasy was released in the West in 1990. That was the same year the Super Nintendo was released in Japan. So there was just a weird stretch of time there. It wasn't going to work. This one is more speculative on my end, but I think it also comes down to difficulty. We do know Final Fantasy IV on the Super Nintendo was made easier in the US version than the Japanese version, and it does seem that there was some kind of stigma that American gamers weren't going to be able to handle the difficulty. This is also part of why we got Mystic Quest instead of Final Fantasy V. They did attempt to translate this in the 90s, but it didn't make it far, and it was called Final Fantasy II Dark Shadow over Palakia. Reception of Final Fantasy II is actually much stronger than you might expect, especially based on the common opinions you hear online. So Final Fantasy I was the 4th best-selling game the week it released, but Final Fantasy II was the 2nd best-selling game on the week of release. It outsold the original game with around 800,000 sold. The other thing that kind of surprised me is that Final Fantasy II reviewed better than the original. It received a Famitsu score of 35 out of 40, and the first game got a 34 out of 40, so it's pretty close. Now, unfortunately, future releases didn't do well financially in the same way as it did with the NES release in Japan, and I think that nostalgia appears to be a large factor of this. As I mentioned before, in the West, we didn't get Final Fantasy II until Origins in 2003. By that point, the golden era of Squaresoft was coming to its end, with hits like Final Fantasy VII, 8, 9, and even at that point, 10. The PS2 games were out. They were working on developing FF12. FF11 was out. So we didn't get 2 in the West until significantly past the point of huge technical progress. And so I feel like there's a very clear distaste for how antiquated Final Fantasy II is versus the original game. But it feels like a lot of people who express this give the original game a pass for the same issues. And I feel like it's nostalgia 100%. And I also think that this is why the Saga series does very well in Japan, but does not do well here in the States, because it was well received on release. For me, I don't say it's an amazing game, but I actually think narratively they tried something different. They set a lot of standards, and I genuinely have a good time usually when I play it. The other thing about FF2 is that they did do like a comic. Some of the art I have is from the comic. So for what it's worth, if you were interested in the story, I think it is kind of worth checking out. I think initially there was a much bigger plan for the lore of Palamecia. It just didn't pan out in the way that they had intended. Apparently, a lot of the reason for this plot is because Sakaguchi saw Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, and he kind of wanted to like work with a similar story to that. Why does Maria's picture have a lizard in the background? This is Guy. We love Guy. He's a hunk. This is, well, I just forgot his name. That's how unimportant he is. Final Fantasy II was the first game to introduce Cid. I know you guys all heard about Cid in the first game. That was a retcon. You can tell that Amano definitely was like into David Bowie. Minwoo. I'm gonna make you all Minwoo stands if you aren't already. I love Minwoo so much. That's my king. Hilda's design by Amano is so sick. All of those different fabrics, I am a sucker for that. Another thing that I found interesting when I played this, because I mentioned this before, I started with playing FF4. As I played all the games in a row initially, there were so many things that I saw that this development team absolutely was like, I like this concept. I'm gonna keep redoing this. Gordon is the sad, pathetic man prototype of Edward from Final Fantasy IV. I actually think, though, that Gordon has a little bit more of a better story in a sense. Gordon sulked so Edward could cry. Josef was the first character and first time in playing through everything that made me go, oh, the big moment of FF7, that's a trope for the series. I don't know why it never clicked for me, but once it happened to Josef, I was like, oh, and it kind of fucked me up. But I think if they remade FF2 and you had to see that in 3D graphic, it would mess you up just the same. Another prototype character. This one went on to become essentially Ferris, our badass pirate lady. I love Layla. This is Paul. Nobody really gives a fuck about Paul, but he does have Amano art. And yeah, he plays an important role. I don't know what to say about him. He's all right. You get a blood sword through him. Ricard Highwind again sets up another important trope of the series. 1, dragoons. 2, he's the prototype of Kain. Kain is arguably up there for one of the most recognizable characters within the entire series. That is Mateus and Hilda. Dude, Amano's art someday is... people are gonna study this shit. This is such a unique style. I have so much love for it. I've always wondered how much direction he's given when working on this. His voice is so distinct. I feel like Amano's art style is literally, of course, this is the image that comes up. His art style is absolutely what helped kind of bridge the gap for me with not having voices and not having every little crevice and detail as a kid. It's the music and Amano art for me just like completely made my imagination go wild. Of course, we got our Lamia. Hot. This is the 20th anniversary Amano art that was made for the PSP version. Look at Leon's stance. That is such a strong pose. Yeah, he is slaying down there. He's standing like Willem Dafoe. The legs, it's on point. Beautiful. This feels like it should be in like Jodorowsky's Dune or something like that. This design is... I think this haunts my nightmares a little bit. So these cutscenes came initially from Origins. Yeah, those nails though, wow. I think it's funny that they don't look anything like their characters, technically. Yeah, like, even outfit-wise. Oh god, they look so terrifying. Good old Leon. Oh. Damn. Oh, he got right back up. We gotta use fire on him. Maria's outfit, I don't know. I feel like AI made that. The first commandment of JRPGs, heroes' hometown shall always be destroyed. Alright, we're keeping their original names. A long-lived peace. Hey, it's, Roxas is at an end. Oh, wow. The Emperor of Palamecia has called forth monsters from the underworld and has begun his campaign for world conquest. A rebel army arose in the kingdom of Fynn, but the rebels' castle fell to an all-out assault by the Empire. Left with little choice, the rebels withdrew to the remote town of Altair. 4 youths from Fynn also found themselves fleeing. They had lost their parents at the hands of the Empire, but their escape wasn't over. Oh wow, look at that! You can't see the damage yet, but I'm fucked. Oh, good attempt, Maria. Well, shit. We had a good run, though. Well, on to FF3, right? I totally had it. I did! Bad RNG. Will he live? He will. I sense a strong life force within him. He should regain consciousness soon. We found them like this on the escape from Fynn, fallen from terrible wounds. By the time we brought them here, I feared it was already too late. His life is not in danger. The sigil will strengthen his life force. We should let him rest now. Of course, we cannot sit idly by and watch. We must act. Minwoo is definitely Moonlight Knight vibes. So, you've regained your strength. Very good. Your life force is strong indeed. It was you who saved us, wasn't it? Thank you. Forgive me, Your Highness, but there's something I must ask of you. Please allow us to join the rebel army. I could never allow such a thing. You know nothing of battle. You would only be throwing your lives away. You should return to your homes. But we have no homes. Not anymore. The Imperials attacked, and our parents. I'm truly sorry, but even so, this changes nothing. I cannot permit you to join our army. If you've nowhere else to go, you're welcome to stay here in Altair. If you know our password, you should be able to live here well enough. The password is Wild Rose. Remember it well. Alright, here we go. The password system is actually something I thought was really cool, but I do not feel like it gets implemented all that well. I like how Guy looks like every guy on the cover of a romance novel. I'm convinced Guy should be the main character because he doesn't talk all that much. He's not quite the silent protag, but for some reason, Farion has main character syndrome, so just like takes over. Maria, your brother Leon is missing, is he not? It's possible that he's being held in Fynn as well, but Fynn is far too dangerous now. The Empire's beasts still stalk the streets. Gaining entrance to the city will not be easy. The man at my right is Minwoo, the white wizard who tended to your wounds. Speak with him before you leave. He may be of some assistance. I see your destiny clearly. The future it holds seems closely entwined with my own. Really? Oh. You will begin by journeying to Fynn. That's the first step towards realizing your fate. Okay, I'll ask Wild Rose. You've wasted no time using the password. Heading to Fynn, are we? Well, it's not my place to tell you what to do, but I'd reconsider if I were you. It's a dangerous place to be, you see. The city is crawling with the Empire's monsters. To the north lies a small village called Galtria. Judging by the look of you, you'd be lucky to make it that far. Before you go anywhere, I suggest you visit the room with the sigil that saved your life. There you'll find people who can teach you a thing or two about adventuring. I think you're going to need all of the advice they can spare. Well, you know, it's not a Final Fantasy without tutorial guys. Hey man, I've never met you before, but what's up? An arrow struck me in the back during the battle, leaving me in this state. Perhaps I really have grown old. My daughter Hilda now serves as regent. You should speak with her. You know, I appreciate that he wasn't like, get the fuck out of my room, who are you? I'm Paul, the greatest thief in all the world. They've yet to invent a loot I can't burgle or steal. You probably shouldn't lead with that, man. That just seems like a bad idea. The Imperial coffers have kept my purse fat with gil lately. Like, you just met me? You're gonna say that? My name is Gordon. I was once the Prince of Kashwan. Now I'm nothing but a coward. When my brother Scott fell in battle, I abandoned my kingdom and fled here. I'm so afraid Hilda will turn me away that I haven't even asked her. I've been stalling here. I'm just a spineless coward. Go ahead and laugh. I deserve it. Bro, like, what did Gordon do to the writers to make him such a pathetic man? Like, what the fuck? That's it. I feel bad. Yeah, there's somebody named Gordon in somebody's life that really fucked up that was on that OG team. I feel like smacking oneself and using the cheese to level skills makes the game feel bad. I should replay it and not do that. I think that's part of why people end up not liking it. I personally think that if you just play the game and like take encounters as you're given them, you'll probably be fine. Leveling in this game works really different from your conventional RPG. There aren't technically levels like there are in other games. So, you know, in a typical JRPG, what'll happen is you start at level 1, and when you get to level 2, you'll get a little boost of HP, you'll get a little boost of MP or strength or all of that stuff. Instead, the way this works is you get hit, so therefore you might get a little bit of HP up. And that's why people will naturally do that kind of grind where they hit themselves. Here's the problem with doing that. Your characters can get pretty strong really fast, and it's not reliable. You'll start just killing yourself. Dude, that just jump scared me a little bit. Okay, I don't know, maybe it's silly, but I was thinking how I'm gonna build. Guy is gonna be a punchy magic user. Maria's gonna be punchy, but like she'll have some light magic. Firion is just attacks. These bees are afraid to hit Maria. It's pissing me off. You gotta hit her, man. I could imagine Guy has a strong connection to nature and thus magic affinity. It's cool because, you know, with Final Fantasy 1, it was kind of a self-insert. The characters had no personalities. You could name them whatever you wanted. And so, like, you could do your own headcanon for your playthrough, kind of like D&D, right? But you did have a lot more rigid restrictions on how you build your character, which, like, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. With this, you have characters that are pre-made with personalities and reactions and backstories, but you can do whatever the fuck you want with building them, and you can have your own headcanons on those characters and how they function. And for me, one of the things I like when it comes to watching people play through this is seeing how they choose to build their characters. But yeah, whenever I play 2, I do like a little bit of a grind, you know, 15-20 minutes, get some money, and then I just kind of carry through and play the game as is. And like I said, I don't really feel like you need to grind in this game, especially the Pixel Remaster. You do not need to grind or hit yourself in that version at all. You know what? Sometimes it feels like the airship is dropping these monsters on me, because do you guys notice the encounters always happen after the airship What the fuck, Sid? It's messed up. Yo, this item shop has 3 different guys, but they're all dressed the same, and they all have the same haircut. Is that like a requirement for the job? Like, you have to all look exactly the same? This game has a pretty open map. The scary thing is, and this is something I think people struggle to realize is, yes, you can get to a part of the map that kicks your ass. That's supposed to tell you to turn around. You're not supposed to keep going. That is definitely Roxas. What's he doing here? How'd he get in a PSP version of Final Fantasy II? There's a pub on the outskirts of Fynn. When the Empire invaded, the barkeep didn't make it out in time. They say he's still working there, pouring drinks for the Imperials. Final Fantasy moment. Yeah, I think the leveling system, in the same sense of the junction system in 8, I think 2 and 8 are pretty similar in the sense that they're very daunting to people, and they don't really need to be. Like, I don't really think they're as scary if you read the tutorials and you just kind of experiment. It's just as we've heard. The city's crawling with Imperial soldiers. We have to be careful. Make sure to not get too close. Whoa, what do you think you're going? Customers aren't allowed behind the counter. These Imperials are as ill-bred as they come. Wild Rose. Aha, you're with the rebels. Don't say that so loud, man. You'll find a door in this wall. There's a wounded soldier back there. Go see if you can help him. Huh? What am I gonna do? I've had it with this place. You guys can take it from here. Don't let us down.
Huh?
He just left? Are you gonna turn me over to the Empire? At least have the decency to kill me first. I don't want them to take me alive. So, you're rebel soldiers, are you? My name's Scott. I'm a prince of Kashwan. Prince Scott? We were told you fell in the battle. Thank goodness you're still alive. I'm afraid I must ask a favor of you. There's something you must tell my brother Gordon. Tell him I know he has great strength. That little bitch thinks he's worthless, but I know he can do well. Count Borgin betrayed us. He's been made a general in the Imperial Army. There's one more thing. Tell Hilda that I love her. No, don't deliver that last message. The confessions of a dying man, they'd only bring her pain. One last thing. Make sure my brother doesn't fuck Hilda. Here, take my ring. I'll make sure it will be of use. Maybe it's all this talking, but I've grown extremely tired. If you will excuse me, I just need to rest for a little while. Oh man. He died. Well, we had our first death. Man, he was hoarding all these potions down here. Why did he have all these potions and he didn't use them? Like, maybe that would have helped. Maria's becoming a boss bitch. I love to see it. Guy's in the back row and still somehow has the most HP, though. That ring belonged to Scott. Is he alive? He gave us this ring in Fynn, just before he lost the last of his strength. Did he say anything? No. Nothing. Definitely nothing about loving you, yeah. Your Highness, please, the ring belongs with you. He said, fuck Gordon. No! There's a magical metal known as Mythril, and we need strong warriors if we are to obtain it. Okay, learn. I've charged Josef, a man living in Salamand, with the task of finding a source of Mythril. I do not know the cause, but we've been out of contact with him for some time now. Would you go with Minwu to Salaman to look into this? I heard my lady's words and I've waited here for you since. Why is everything he says so romantic? Is it the eyes? It's gotta be the eyes. Like... To reach Salaman, we must first pass through the port town of Paloom. Take my canoe and let us be on our way. Oh, he even has a canoe, guys. Where was he keeping that? You never ask a man where he keeps his folding canoe. Noted. We're learning. A man named Sid, the former captain of Fynn's Order of the White Knights, built an airship. A ship that sails the skies. But the airship captivated him, mind and soul, and he left for Fynn. So we've lost Scott as well. He had proposed to Hilda, you know. Now he'll never hear her answer. I always thought he'd make a fine husband for her. We believe Mythril was in common use long ago. Some surviving records indicate Mythril was mined in the north near Semet Falls. Hey, thanks, King. You actually know a decent bit. I feel like he's pretty useful. What's dope about Minwu, truly, is that this man has, like, all of this magic. He is the magic god. Who's this lady? She's cute. Paloom's a town of freedom. Want to settle down here with me, handsome? Wow, look at her butt. They gave some butt detail there. Look at that. Some people don't like this art style. I feel like this one versus the PSP version of FF1, this actually feels a lot more pixely to me, especially the characters. I'll need to compare how they look technically, but yeah, there's like even the trees look different. It feels like they were using different assets or something. I'd be curious also what is like the best translation. If I hadn't played the Pixel Remaster version, you could convince me this was it. When they first announced the Pixel Remasters, I was a little bit disappointed because I just kind of hoped that they would port these as a remaster. But I really appreciate what they did with the Pixel Remasters. There's definitely a lot of love and care that went into it. I don't think this art style would have sold as well. I actually do agree with that to a point. There are a lot of people who still prefer this style, but I do think that there is something very charming about how it looked on Pixel Remasters. I know initially on release a lot of people had complaints with the font and how that looked, but that's gotten updated, thankfully. At the same time, sometimes it just feels like everybody likes to complain. That's just the way it is. I can't believe I haven't run into any ogres yet. Some of the bugs were awesome. I remember somehow getting a ton of Illuminas in FF6. So I think some of the glitches and stuff like that, or bugs, glitches that you could get in the later games were really cool. Like, yeah, there's the sketch glitch and stuff. And I mean, there's like a whole speed run that's based off of that with 6. Now there's a fine lass. How about you and me go have a drink? My name's Furion. How are you? With you? Not a chance. Whoa, her face is different. She's like, yo, fuck you? No? It really feels like they put some care into making each inn look different. And they all look so pretty. Like, they all have had different rugs. You looking for Sid? He's probably in the pub. I heard a few gil get you a ride on that airship of his. Why'd he say it like that? Boss, the city to our east is under control of the Empire. They're building something terrible there. These guys all say the same thing. Oh my god, no! Why do they all say the same thing? Oh, what a hellscape as an NPC. This is all that they can say to each other? Could you imagine just like the background noise in this place? No matter how far, we'll have you to your destination in a blink of an eye. Of course, transportation of this fine caliber comes at a cost. Interested? Yes. Oh my god, I have 2 gil. So, never mind. I'm not talking to Sid yet. Sid should always be a goofy octogenarian. Yeah, but Tella was that in 4. I mean, I guess technically Sid in 4 is close enough. I wish 4 had more time with Tella and Sid together, because I feel like listening to them banter with each other would have been real fun. Like, that's a missed opportunity. I feel like they would just roast each other constantly. Technically, Sid wasn't in 1. They just retconned him in after the NES version. The FF2 is the first game that he showed up in. So when I was on every F and FF podcast a while back, we had a pretty deep conversation about SIDS and how I strongly felt that like the best SIDS are the ones that you would trust to grill for you. And then we did a SID grilling tier list. Who do you guys think was the top SID that would grill? 7 SID? 4? FF4? 7? 8? Oh, hell no. Listen, FF8 Sid is the last person that I would trust with a fucking grill. That man doesn't even know how to wipe his own ass. He was bottom of the tier. He's the lamest one, it's true. There's Sids that are evil in this series, and I like them way more. Because at least they're interesting. How that man has pulled a goth baddie like he did, I don't even know. I hate him too, but he has dad energy. Not good dad energy. Where does 10 rank? Oh, that man definitely also would grill pretty serious. You hear his voice? I'd rank 10 Sid as a number 2, but 4 was nuts. Yeah, 4 was up there as well. What about FF12 Sid? FF12 Sid slaps because of how good of an antagonist he is. I actually enjoy 12 Sid, but I don't know that he'd be good at grilling. FF14 Sid, he has never seen a hot dog in his life, but he would probably be in the middle somewhere. Like, he'd figure it out. He's an engineer. See, the thing about Sid from 8 is he's not an engineer of any type. He don't know what the fuck to do with a hot dog either. That's why they have a cafeteria, because all the cafeterias ladies do it for him. That's also another reason why I think he would not be good at grilling, because he literally has a cafeteria to do it for him. Sid from 13 has never seen a grill in his life either. Yeah, and he wouldn't know what to do with it. If there's a Sid who would grill it good, yes. 7 Sid was also on the top tier of grillers. Oh my god, look at him. You here to ride the airship? If you got the cash, there's no place I can't take you. You want on the airship, you pay the guy behind me. That oversized garbage scow. Airships aren't about how big you build them. Airships are all about what they can do. He doesn't know shit about Mythril, though. Sid from 5, I don't think he would be too into grilling. And 2 and 3, this one I think could grill pretty good, but not like top tier. 3, yeah, you know, I feel like that one's more of a soup guy. I don't know what makes you a soup guy and what makes you a grill man, but I also think Sid Kramer feels like more of a soup guy too. I don't know why that makes sense to me. Maybe it's a sweater vest? Soup guy is a greener flag IMO? Oh shit, never mind. I redact what I said about Sid Kramer. FF6 is a soup guy for sure. He's in his big rubber suit for an easy cleanup. Sidolphus Orlando would just stare at the steak and it would be perfectly cooked right on the spot out of respect. Yes. I feel like he'd send Jack to get beer, and he'll come back 4 hours later after the cookout ended with most of the bottles open and drank, and it'd be like, oh, who did that? Summit Falls is beyond the mountain range to the south of Salamand. That's where the Empire's been mining its Mythril. Oh, okay. The Empire's enslaved the men of Salamand and forced them to work in the cave at Summit Falls. Please, you have to help them. Oh, guys. Here's this lady. They really gave her sprite some interesting detail here, though, by the way. Wow. I love Josef, but I know that when I'm around, I just get in his way. Yeah, she has to be freezing. She's like always just looking in his window. This guy never addresses her. Like, I don't understand. There he is. You have business with me? Yeah, ask about Mythril. Mythril? I haven't found any yet. I do have a few leads, but I don't plan on sharing what I do know with a bunch of perfect strangers. There are a bunch of people from Salamand who are being forced to work in the cave at Summit Falls. Rescue them and we'll talk. Do you know anything about this? You're here for Lady Hilda? A little short in the tooth, aren't you? You kids can't fool me. Oh, you know what? Josef also could grill. Absolutely. This is just some lady who says she loves Josef, and after what happens to Josef happens, spoilers, he dies, she's still here. I don't know if this is Nellie's mom or this is just some lady who is pining for Josef really badly. It's never addressed, but she is literally always here, and I don't know, it's strange. I had the strangest dream last night. I was chasing this flame around, but then lost sight of it at a fork in the road. And when I finally caught it, I woke up. Oh, nice to meet you too, NPC man. We have chocobos at home. No, wait, hold on. Did you, here, this is it. This is the original Amano design of a chocobo for Final Fantasy II. Now look at these guys. This is a bullshit room. A lot of people don't like these. I don't like them. Is there any purpose for those empty rooms? I thought there were different monsters in them, but that's not true. So when I think about how these empty rooms look and like the high encounter rate in games like this, I think it really kind of comes down to the fact that they were trying to fill out the game a little bit more. You know, otherwise you'd be beating this game probably in a much shorter amount of time. So it's supposed to give you that feeling of exploration. Does it feel like really annoying and a big pain in the ass? Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Probably the trap rooms are there to make dungeons more mysterious. They could be used for grinding if you really wanted to. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I get that they feel annoying, because they are, but I just kind of think of myself, even though I wasn't born yet when this game came out in 1988, I was born 1989. I try to imagine like the feeling of playing an NES game and wanting that sense of exploration. Is it defensible? No, but I just think that they were experimenting. I don't know. Yo, how the fuck did Paul get here? What is he doing? That's Nellie. Firion, it's you. You remember me, don't you? Paul, the greatest thief in all the world. Am I glad to see you? This is Joseph's daughter, Nellie. I think that dastard Borgen's been holding her hostage to threaten Josef. Princess Hilda told you to bring her back some Mythril, right? Well, that's normally where I step in. I figured out this is where the Mythril was coming from easy enough. So I thought I'd get the jump on you guys and nab the Mythril before you could get here. Were you going to give it to us? Or were you just trying to prove that you're a good thief? Only I messed up and got caught. Me, of all people. The greatest thief in the world. Well, I know when I'm in over my head. So long, but don't worry. I'll take everyone here with me. Thanks for saving us. I owe you one. Well, he didn't even get the Mythril. Yeah, he's a treasure hunter. Oh my god. So Firion is like the design, the look of Locke, but I think that Paul is the personality of Locke. Oh no. Huh, rebels. Never thought I'd have to deal with your kind down here. Well, if you think you're getting Mythril, you're right. My Mythril blades straight through your heart. This is what I look like maybe like 75% of the time. I just have this question mark speech bubble over my head. Mythril, yes. Yeah, I got one Mythril, so I can now just handle an entire army, which is kind of silly. You underestimate how far a little Mythril can go. Our husbands are back safe and sound, and we have you to thank for it. Oh, for a second I was like, does this husband have 2 wives? Damn. Thank you so much. We owe our freedom to you. I love Joseph, but I know when I'm around, I just get in his way. Ma'am, can I spoil the story for you? He is gonna die. Go in there and hang out with him, because I don't think he knows that you exist right now. And you're hot. Like, you've got a lot of pixels, and I can tell from those pixels that you're very attractive. It is cold outside. You need to go in there. I'm so concerned for you. Here's the thing, Joseph has a kid, so like, at some point he had to be married, but I don't think that's his wife. If that's his wife, I'm really concerned. Why is she outside? Why is she afraid of getting in his way? It looks like you managed to save my daughter. Thank you. That cowardly Borgin has been threatening Nellie to get to me. Forgive me. If there's anything I can do to help, all you gotta do is ask. Can you please let that woman inside? What is going on, man? Oh, damn. Why'd they give her so much ass, though? I can't get over that. The Empire also suffered heavy losses at the Battle of Fynn. They're building the Dreadnought in Bofsk to help compensate those losses. Hilda looks very done with my shit, though. Do you see her face? You found the Mythril. Now we'll finally be able to fight the Empire on equal terms. Please take the Mythril to Tobel, the town blacksmith. I'm certain he'll be able to use it to make you some magnificent weapons. What could you want with me? I'm just an old man. Here you go, sir. I have this Mythril. Oh, that's Mythril. I've been waiting for the chance to work this metal for as long as I can remember. All right, leave the rest to me. Swords, armor, you name it, I'll start pounding it out. Maybe sometimes I should, like, mentally read ahead before I say things out loud. Because that sounded weird. It's been too long since I let my hammer ring. He's gonna pound it out? Yeah, apparently. You can buy the equipment I made over at the shop counter. This'll keep my hands full, I'll tell you that. Dude, Tobel's really pounding it out, man. He was not kidding. He has not stopped. Okay, why is Roxas cosplaying as Mario, though? What is going on here? Oh my god, it's Luigi, Roxas! So, you really found some Mythril? You're certainly brave, I'll give you that. Next to you, I realize how pathetic I am. Oh my god, shut the fuck up, Gordon. Yeah, we get it. You're a pathetic man. Get over yourself. FF17 has DLC to undress at bedtime. Damn, when did you get access to that? General Borgin took command of things in Bofsk a short while ago. Things have gotten much easier than they were under the Dark Knight. It's hard to believe a bumbling idiot like Borgin could become a general in the Imperial Army. Oops. You didn't hear that. Here you go, Wild Rose. Ah, you're one of us. I had to be careful about what I did while the Dark Knight was here looking over my shoulder. But the great General Borgin is anything but. He's just a domineering blowhard. Okay, can you, like, let me through? So, you're the ones they've sent to destroy the Dreadnought. Don't worry, I'm on your side. There's an entrance to the sewers up ahead. If they see us talking, they may start to get suspicious. So I'm out of here. Good luck. Why did he go that way? You're too late. The Dreadnought is complete. Oh my god, so in this version, you can definitely tell that it's Leon. The eyes, they give it away. I've been working behind the scenes to see the project through to completion. End your resistance. Kneel before your emperor. It is the only alternative left to you. Consider what I've said. When the time comes, we'll meet again. Oh my god, what the Oh. That's an interesting portrait. Haha, looks like you came all this way for nothing. See for yourselves. Well, why did he just gobble at me? Napoleon, you've changed. That's the pre-Kefka laugh right there. Oh no! Oh no! Look at the particles falling! Oh, at least the girl with the good ass is okay. We were attacked by the dreadnought. They're dead. They're all dead. All of them died too? What you want to do is blow up that thing's engine. Do that, and you can bring down the whole overgrown tub. Yeah, it is a little weird that the nice music is playing in these places when they've clearly been destroyed. I'm hurt. Hurt bad. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Like, that man is dying. And this happy town music is playing. My daughter. They killed my daughter. To this music? Yeah, they really needed to, like, insert sad music here or something. You see, it happened just as I said it would. Obviously, the task was more than you could handle. Damn, shut up, old man. Wow. Many were wounded in the dreadnought's attack. The shock has even caused my father's condition to turn for the worse. I hate that my father has to see this. He knows. He knows his death is near. Oh. Is there nothing you can do, Minwoo? All those who live must someday die. It's our fate. God, he's even hot when he's saying sad things. I shall remain here and devote myself to the care of the wounded. I take my leave of you. Doesn't it feel like carefully crafted to just be hot? What if he removed his mask and just had a maw of razor-sharp teeth like a Mortal Kombat character? Still hot, Prash. You can't change my mind. It's the eyes. He puts the mask back on. I don't need to kiss him. I just hold his hand. Look at the old hater down there scuffing his feet on the nice rug. I know, like, fuck that guy. He is a hater. Is this all he says for the rest of the game? Fuck that guy. I could have done it better. Then go do it, asshole. There's something just really nice about this canoe. It doesn't make a noise or anything. It's just very pleasant. Scott sealed the gates of Keshwan Keep to protect the Sunfire in event they were defeated in battle. You will need the goddess spell to break the seal. Okay. Well, the whereabouts of the bell are known only to the Keshwan royal family. Okay, but you know what? Minwoo knows everything, so... Gordon would know where the bell is kept, but I've not seen him lately. Someone close to Scott or Gordon may know where to find it. I've heard Scott and Gordon mention the bell. The gates of Keshwan Keep open only to the voice of a Keshwan, or the ringing of that bell. The bell rests deep within a cavern on the snow plains. It will not be easy to retrieve. So it is your intention to enter the snow cavern. Very well. If only Gordon were here, there'd be no need for you to risk such danger. But he isn't, so you must. There's nothing I can do but pray for your success. Josef knows the snow plains like the back of his hand. You should seek his counsel. You know, I will say I'm pretty damn impressed with how well Hilda knows, like, everybody in this world. The only way to reach the snow cavern is on my snowcraft. I'm sorry I couldn't help you find the Mythril. So I want to make up for that by pitching in now. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Yay. Come back soon. Aw. She changes her dialogue because Joseph's in the party, which means I love Joseph, but I know that when I'm around, I just get in his way. God, I wish that, like, he would just, like, pull out of the party right now and go, who are you? Why are you outside of my house? The snowcraft's in here. Dude, he is so cool. He has his own snowcraft. He keeps it in a treasure chest, though? I guess I wouldn't have expected that. I wish I could walk into water and turn into a boat. Wait until you see what happens when I touch the snow. Whee! Oh. I say that Moogles started out in this game, but they started as beavers. We're about to get a really important lore bit here about Guy. Guy speak beaver. Secret passage in wall to right. Monster guard bell. Bell in wall. I always tell the ladies I speak beaver. Whew. I mean, I don't know that's necessarily that Moogles replaced beaver. I think it's just naturally where it evolved to, you know? They're just so perfect. I mean, and they definitely went in on this version and made it look a lot more like a Moogle. So it seems a little bit intentional. I think they just started to get a lot more creative design-wise once they hit FF3. Because, I mean, that's where you really get all of your summons coming in and everything like that. Okay, so how did Ramu know about this if he wasn't here? I will tell you, that whole segment hit harder after I had played this and, like, realized it was referencing that. Because it went over my head when I played 9 for the first time. Ramu played FF2 during FF8. That's why Quetzalcoatl took his place. That's an Admantoise guarding the bell. Stay on your toes. Damn, the whoa. They added a sound effect to that. Ooh. I have an idea. I got that Antarctic wind. Where are you, Antarctic wind? There you go. So this dungeon, like, provides you the hint. It gives you an Antarctic wind and a blizzard tome. So it basically, like, holds your hand and says, hey, you should use these. Hey, what if you made the turtle really cold? Wink, wink, yeah. I mean, is it kind of fucked up for me to just, like, not heal Joseph? Because I know he's about to die. Now you're cooking with that one? Resource management is important, yeah. Curses, you've already gotten the goddess bell. First you ruined my standing with the Emperor, now this. The Emperor will never forgive me for messing this up. If I ever go back to the Empire, I'll have my head. I'm still a soldier. If I'm going to die, you're coming with me. Why do they make him gobble, though? Gosh. Okay, maybe I should have healed. I'm looking back on this and regretting it a little. Dude, what a pushover, man. Fuck that guy. I may have lost, but I don't think you've won. I've booby-trapped this cave. I feel like that he just wanted to say booby. He has that energy. I'll be waiting for you in hell. Rah! He really is waiting for you in hell, by the way. Oh shit. Damn it. Go on. Get out. We not leave you. I can't hold it much longer. Run. Dude, I think that guy might have been able to help you, though. It's up to you now, Fynn. My sweet Nelly. Aww. Josef. Yeah, you get crushed to death, and there's just kind of like, all right, I guess we just, we gotta move on now, huh? I guess you can say Josef got his world rocked. Oh, we talk all the time about how FF8 would be great if they did a remake. I think this would be a really good game to remake. Not that I want them to keep fucking remaking things, right? But like, I think that this is a short enough story and has some like impactful moments. And it's dark. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. No, not Josef. Oh no. Don't let Josef's death be in vain. You have to get that bell to Kashwan. Wait. Hey guys. She's not out here. She's inside? Poor Josef. I'll look after Nelly in his place. I know that would make him happy. Who are you? I think she's stealing his estate. I think she is too. Nelly? Nelly, blink twice if you don't know this lady. Did you see that look she just did? She did like a look around. Daddy? Daddy isn't coming back, is he? Is that your mom? Like, maybe it is her mom and there's just like some weird shit happening. I need someone to tell me, what's this woman's situation in the Japanese version? Like, what is she saying outside of his house before he dies? Because I feel like there has to be something that just wasn't translated properly and it makes her seem weird. I've had a lot of fun conversing about FF2, and I'm glad that so far people have been really, really positive, because this is a game that a lot of times, even when I talk about it, there's always someone who pops up and has to say some rude ass shit about it, right? It does feel like since the Pixel remaster, there has been a pretty large positive shift of opinion on this game. As always, thank you guys for hanging out. Have a wonderful night. Goodbye.